Hi everyone, it's Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be setting up my bullet journal for August. This month I will be starting my third semester of university, and in case you didn't know, I'm a chemistry major, so I thought it would be really fitting to make a chemistry theme. I have made a science theme before. It was back in 2019 when I was first getting into bullet journaling. I didn't even have my Instagram account or posted any of my spreads. And honestly, I didn't really like how it turned out back then, but I've always wanted to give a science theme a second chance and thought this was the perfect time to do so. So for my cover page, I just lettered the word August using a Tombow Fudenosaki, and right now I'm just using different Tombow brush pens to draw a beaker. And it was honestly pretty hard to not get that much of the marker strokes look, but I still think it turned out pretty good with the shadow kind of effect. And for the background, I used two different gel pens to draw different molecules, and I'll also be taking organic chemistry for the first time this semester, so I guess this is some kind of practice to draw different molecules. This is also the second month of me getting back into bullet journaling after drifting away from it for a while, and I'm really excited to get working on making spreads again, and it was fun to do something creative and drawing and all of that. And the quote that I chose for this month is, "Today is the opportunity to build the tomorrow you want." I feel like I'm someone who has lots of goals, and lately I've been slacking on those habits that will help me reach those goals. So this is a great reminder for me. And for the background, I did the same thing as with the cover page, just drawing different molecules. I'm actually pretty excited for this semester because for the past 2 semesters I've just been taking basic classes that will help me set up the basis for my major, like math and physics, calculus and all of that, which I like but I don't love as much as chemistry. And this semester I'll finally start taking more chemistry related classes, and I can't wait for that. And the next spread that I'm making is my monthly calendar, and I love using this for planning in advance. So if I already know that I will have an important date or some event happening this month, I can just write it down before even the month starts and before I make my weeklies. And it also just helps me really have a glance of what I have going on this month. And for the color scheme, I decided to stick with light pink, light gray, and some pops of light purple, which we will be seeing in the next spread, and the molecules. And that is because I got inspired by a lab technique called titration, which is commonly made using phenolphthalein, which is a pH indicator that turns pink when in contact with alkali compounds. And here's a quick picture of my first titration that I did during this semester. And throughout this theme, I will just be making different illustrations of different lab instruments and using the same molecule background. And starting this month, I decided to change up my monthly setups a little bit because I usually made tons of different spreads like habit trackers and one line a day and all of that, but I never really used them. And starting this month, I decided to only make the ones that I know that I will actually be using. So for now, I only made the cover page, quote page, which are just mainly for decoration, this monthly calendar, which I will be using, and I will be making each weekly spread for each week of this month. And I also leave another page blank so I can just write any notes or ideas that I might have. And I also made the decision in an attempt to simplify my bullet journaling process, so it is something that will take up less time and I'll be able to keep doing it once the semester starts in 2 weeks. So from now on, my Plan With Me videos will be mainly me making my cover page, quote page, monthly calendar, and the first weekly. And for this weekly spread, the layout that I decided to use is just big vertical boxes for each day of the week, and this way I have space to add a big illustration and also a big quote, or I could also add like 2 different big illustrations. And what I love about this is that it's really flexible and you can truly adjust it to however you need it. And the quote that I chose for this week is "Change is uncomfortable but necessary," as I've been working on different habit changes and changes in my life in general. And for the illustration, I once again did different love instruments, but this time, as they were many of them together, I also decided to make some of them purple, so it would have a small contrast with the light pink ones. And usually when I'm making this illustration and drawing center themes, I like to make a practice one first just to see if I like the colors and if it turns out okay. But for this one, I just went straight into the journal and hoped it turned out okay, and I actually really liked it. And once again, I added different molecules to the background. And after finishing adding the molecules, I just added the finishing touches to this spread. I outlined the illustrations and I also added some colorful drop shadows. And here's a flip through of how the final spreads turned out. It was a really fun theme for me to make with all of the illustrations, and I really also enjoyed filming this. I really hope that you liked this video, and if you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time with more content. Bye!